Welcome back everyone, let's try and get these two halves together then.
Okay, so that was interesting to do that on my own. So all down off the axle stand, so finally actually sitting on the suspension. So yeah, all feels a little bit more like it's coming together now. So next job is to get those inserts put in, tops and bottom. Get the bulkhead back onto here, the clamps, and try and set it all in place. And then next step, I guess. Well, that was interesting. Like a good game of Tetris that, put it all together. So basically, the holes are lined up on the bottom there, on the 4 lines. What I need to do now is get the top frame rails in, so jack up at the back, get that connected up there. That will bring the bulkhead in. And then basically the job will be then is those little fillets that I've got in here, is push that as far up against the bulkhead as I can with the bulkhead sandwiched between it. Then plug weld them in so then they're set in their position. Then I'll use these holes that are here to drill through the bulkhead, put a few bolts in around to hold the bulkhead in position, and hopefully slide the frame out, leaving the bulkhead in position, and then that will be the way it sort of lines itself up for the bulkhead, so I can get all of that rest all welded into place, and then drill through the rest of the holes to bolt the bulkhead to the fillets, and hopefully then that way it should all line up perfectly for just slotting this rear frame back into it with another person, hopefully, which will be much easier. So we'll try and do that now. Okay, so I've managed to get it all up right now and in. Got the top bolts through the frame there just to hold it in position, so it's all connected in its position, and yeah, really happy with it. Got a little bit of a gap around here, but again, that fillet on the inside will fill that quite nicely. Obviously it lines up really nicely here with the existing window rail, so then I can just put the windows in and line it all up along all that. So that all lines up really nicely there. And the gap on the side is actually really neat edge. I've got about 10 to 15 mil sort of lip there on the sides, which is okay because I can actually put some tiger seal in those sort of areas there. So that will all be nice, and it's the same down the other side where that will sit, since that actually gives me somewhere to seal onto as well, which is quite nice. Bit annoyed because I'm going to have a bit of a vulnerable edge there, which might be bend, but hopefully not. I can always put a bit of support in there if I need to. So now that I know that's all in position, the next thing really for me is going to be marking out the rear window and marking out on this back frame rail here where I need to cut out so I can get the harnesses through and work out how I'm going to box that in. So that's the next job. And while it's obviously in, what I'm going to do now is get these little fillets that I made earlier on, these ones here, get these in and against the edge, get these plug welded into the side of the shell all the way around. Also I've got the roof one up there set in place already, just got to push that up tight to the bulkhead, get that plug welded all in, and then drill through a few of those holes into the bulkhead, just so as I can get that all lined up again nice and easily. So get that all done while it's all in position, plug all that in, and then mark up, like I said a minute ago, for the window and things. I'm going to take it all apart again, get it all cut out, and then put it all back together again. Okay, so the fillets are all in, and I've got it lowered off the jacks now, so it's finally, officially, a rolling shell. And just to prove it, there we go. So it's all starting to feel a little bit more real now, so buzzing about that. So the next thing I'm going to try and do is get the seat brackets all in, get the seats sat on there, and then work out how big I actually need to cut the window, because I was just going to do an oval sort of thing, you know, rounded cornered rectangle hole, but obviously my seats come up quite high, so I'm going to get them in and work actually how big I need to cut the hole, mark up that, and I need to have a bit of a tidy up, because you can't really see in the picture, but there's loads of little bits of metal on the floor from all the jigsawing out of all these parts and stuff, so get all that all cleaned up. So yeah, progress is happening. Okay, so it's all bolted in, and all finished. Nicely got all the cross beams in to make sure it all is in the final position that it will be in. Finally got it off the jacks at the back, so we now officially have a rolling show at last. So yeah, really excited now. It's really starting to come together. So next job's going to be obviously get the bulkhead marked out for the holes for the harnesses, get the windows in, get the seats in so I can work out exactly where the holes are going to be for the rear window, and then start fabricating up the last of the brackets for the back half here in the engine bay, probably fitting the back end on and getting all these oil coolers and other parts in. So once again guys, thanks for tuning in, really do appreciate all your input and questions and thoughts of how we're getting on with things. Please like and subscribe and share with your mates if you think they'd be interested, and yeah, keep tuned for the next one. See you later. Okay, so it's nice to get the seats back in it, both on their mounts. Obviously I haven't bolted it in because I'm just trying to mark up. You can see just about probably the black lines behind the seats there, so just marked up where the seat lines are so I can work out exactly how big I'm going to cut out the window for being able to see out the back, because lots of people have been asking what I'm doing about that. Well, there's the answer, and that's why obviously it's not been cut out yet. So yeah, so just marked up the outer edges of the seats, so that'll give me a bit of a template for where to go. I've also marked up around the box section on the back here, just so I can cut that out as well, ready for fitting the boxing around that for where the harness is attached around. Also chucked on the air to water cooler, just to give me a bit of an idea, and now I'm just going to start sussing out where I'm going to mount these radiators to, so that's the next job in hand. So got the back end placed on now, just clamped up the gutter rails just as it lines up, so the main thing is it all does go back together. Always a bit of a worry when you cut something in half, but it should have gone back together, so pleased it has. Obviously I've got to sort out all the locating points and how it's all going to fasten on, which I've got an idea in my mind what I'm going to do with that. So the next thing is just to try and work out in these gaps down here where the best place is going to be for mounting these radiators, so they give me enough room for plumbing as well, so I'm going to do that now. So looking at the clearance, obviously on the bottom of the rear wing here, there's actually a box section you can just see here. I was hoping to sort of mount the radiator sort of on top of this beam here that you can see, but obviously when it flips back, it's going to catch that box section down there. So just sort of working out the angles now, and obviously putting a spirit level up against it. So as the spirit level's level, you can see the actual mini panel is actually sort of flat at the bottom. So I can basically cut off that box section, and at no point will this bottom section here, bottom part of it, foul when it comes up and over like this. It will never foul anything up here, because obviously this is coming up and in, so it's always going to have more clearance. Obviously I know it offers a bit of strength along that bottom edge, but it doesn't actually stop any flexibility. As you can see, it flaps like anything. In any case, I was going to have to find a way of fastening that. So it's not really offering me anything there. So I think the next thing will be to cut that off, and that will going to give me clearance on both sides to mount the oil rods where I really want to get them put to. So that's my thinking at the moment.